Ghost car. When I created this channel, I decided that I would never pass off fake ghost footage as real, especially if I didn't believe it myself. But this might be one of the closest things I've reviewed to date without explanation. In the late hours of the night, a police officer from Garden City, Texas by the name of Wayne Daniels got into a high-speed chase. The chase that was captured on his dashcam and sent into court TV left many baffled. As the driver in what appears to be a white sedan is seen swerving and weaving all over the road, driving in loops, and attempting to convince the officer that he's trying to pull over, just before he takes off again. In the clip that is only about 2 minutes long, we only get a single glimpse of the driver, as he turns back around and passes the officer as he moves in the opposite direction. Although the 2040p video makes the driver a blurry mess, we can clearly see that the vehicle is operated by someone. But towards the end of the clip, the driver makes a left-hand turn and only leaves the view of the camera for about 3 seconds. But when the officer follows suit and makes the left-hand turn as well, after straightening out, he has to immediately slam on his brakes as there is a completely intact fence directly in front of him. The driver somehow on the other end of the intact fence, as the officer is forced to sit there and watch him drive off into the night. Since the original driver was committing a crime, he will likely never come forward and explain how it was done, so this bizarre mystery may never be answered. But some theories suggest anything from the driver driving underneath the fence to him hitting a ditch and flying up and over the fence. But I'm not really sure which is more likely. So let me know in the comments below. Is there an answer to this mystery? Or is this a genuine ghost car captured on film? Hey, it's me. Real quick, if you liked the video so far, please consider liking it to help the algorithm and subscribing to see more content like this. Alright, back to it. Plane crash. I apologize to any of my viewers with aerophobia, because if you follow this channel you know that we've covered many plane crashes in the past. But to be honest, while I started writing the script to this video, I thought I'd be talking about this plane crash. But when I was doing my research, I found another video of a plane crashing captured on Dashcam, and I thought I'd want to talk about that one instead. Oh my god, TSA is going to get rid of my pre-check. On April 29th, 2013, a National Airlines cargo plane was making a flight from Afghanistan to Dubai, carrying 5 armored minesweeping vehicles. However, after only literally seconds into the flight, some of the cargo, which was later determined to be not properly secured, got loose and ended up damaging some of the systems within the plane. As a result, again only seconds into the flight, the pilot lost the ability to control the plane. And as they were beginning their ascent, they ended up stalling. The absolutely terrifying result was all captured on a bystander's dashcam, but I warn you, the video is shocking. After flying what almost seems to be straight up, the plane looks like it's about to perform a barrel roll, and although it does seem to correct itself, it is already too late as it falls to the ground at an unnatural angle, immediately bursting into an enormous ball of flame. The plane brought relatively little damage to the vehicles on the ground around where it crashed, and no one on the ground was hurt, but all passengers of the National Airlines 747 did die, including the captain, relief captain, first officer, loadmaster, and 2 mechanics. The rest of the recording is utter chaos for the bystanders, as some can be seen running from the aftermath of the crash, while others can be seen running towards it. The driver of the vehicle spends the next few minutes driving around, at times getting very close to the flames. What exactly he's doing I can't say with 100% certainty, as he doesn't speak for the entirety of the video. The National Transportation Safety Board and the Afghanistan Civil Aviation Authority, along with Boeing, determined that the theory of the load getting loose within the plane is most likely what led to the crash, and as a result ordered stricter training protocols for all loadmasters in the future. I could not even imagine witnessing something like this with my own eyes, let alone right in front of me. And I think many people, including myself, would put this above their fears of the paranormal or unknown. Hanoi Tornado. Tornadoes are quite literally a force of nature, and as a kid they terrified me to no end. And for good reason too, as some people believe tornadoes can reach speeds of upwards of 300 miles per hour. That's faster than the fastest speed ever recorded during a Formula 1 race. That means that there's a chance that it is literally impossible to outrun one, even if you are in something like a Lamborghini. In my opinion, that's way more terrifying than any ghostly figure you could see at the end of the road. Like this dashcam footage from Hanoi, Vietnam at what appears to be a busy market on a rainy day. But as we just watched the pedestrians and the motorists go about their day, they suddenly start running as the driver calls out in fear. At the same time, what one may believe to be massive birds begin flying around overhead in the white blown out sky. However, these are not birds, but rather pieces of corrugated sheet metal ripped off of nearby buildings and thrown into the air by an approaching tornado just off screen. The driver, thinking quickly, throws the car into reverse and begins moving backwards, as debris around him begin growing in size and number. What appears to be a warehouse becomes visible on his right side, just as it collapses and is torn into multiple pieces and thrown into the air. The same thing happens to the building on the corner, and after he makes it through the intersection, the next building as well. What is terrifying is the fact that you can see a motorist riding his motorcycle towards the car, and although he tries his best to hold on, he is eventually thrown off and is forced to leave it as he runs from the destruction. The tornado essentially turning this once busy market into a parking lot, with two large buildings off in the distance pretty much seeming like the only things still left standing. At this point, the driver finally, thankfully, makes it out of the way of the tornado. And what is really terrifying is how the tornado managed to turn this just normal, average day into one full of destruction. Dozens create Roadblock. Time and time again, I think we can all agree that above monsters, demons, and ghosts, the things that we all actually need to be afraid of is our fellow man. And nowhere is that more apparent than when you come across the footage of makeshift roadblocks in the street. If you don't know what I'm talking about, imagine driving down the road only to be stopped by a fallen branch, cones, or other type of debris. If you get out of your car, or even stop, if you're lucky, you may get your car stolen by individuals hidden just out of sight. But if you're unlucky, it could be much, much worse. On September 6th, 2016, a truck driver driving through France came across such a roadblock, and after stopping, came across several individuals. But I'm not talking about 2 or 3, alright? I'm talking about dozens. I counted as many as 36, but there's likely even more than that. The individuals were ambushing the truck, throwing rocks, concrete, and sticks at the vehicle, with several damaging the windows and injuring the driver. Eventually, the driver realizes that if he doesn't get out of there quick, he may very well be killed by this violent mob that descended on him. So after attempting to back away from the crowd, he lays on his horn before driving forward, up and over the branches blocking him to safety. Although I have heard that he did seek medical attention for his injuries. From what I've read, it does seem that the individuals attempting to ambush the truck were illegal Muslim immigrants, and they were attempting to do one of 3 things. Convince the driver to smuggle them over the border, hop onto the truck so that they can cross over the border, or take control of the vehicle, removing the driver completely. Naturally, the inclusion of crimes committed by illegal immigrants is a breeding ground for unsavory comments. But in my opinion, no matter the context, dozens and dozens of people surrounding your car in the dead of night is next level in terms of terrifying. Toddler on the road. Children are kind of a mixed bag when it comes to horror, because while they're usually depicted as the cutest things ever in most forms of media, with just a small twist, they can become some of the most traumatic things ever put to film. But spotting a small child in the middle of the road one night is a different kind of scary. In this video, coming from Deputy Jeremy Gatney's dashcam, we can see him travel down the road in Newport, Oregon on January 9th, 2016. The dark rainy night offers little in the way of visibility as he makes his way down Highway 101, before suddenly coming to a stop in the empty road as a small white figure emerges and comes running towards the car. But fear not, this isn't one of the Grady sisters, Annabelle or Chucky. It's actually a lost toddler. I say that like it's a relief, but a lost child running down the highway, towards oncoming traffic no less, is one of the scariest things I could imagine seeing objectively. The deputy, of course, quickly jumps out of his vehicle and picks the 2-year-old up, calling it in. The boy's parents luckily were close nearby looking for him. According to the report, they were at a nearby community center cleaning up after an event when their son found an open door and made his way onto the highway. I know a lot of questions land on the parents, as most of the videos I found of children lost on the road usually ends with a parent being charged with neglect. But in this case, the boy's parents were not charged with anything. And medical director Dr. Ben Hoffman reminds us in an article that this is just kind of what 2-year-olds do. They act quickly and impulsively. But I think we can all collectively say that we are happy that things turned out fine for this young boy. And hopefully if you ever have the misfortune to find yourself in a similar situation, you won't just drive off thinking that it's a ghost. Well, that's it for now. Be sure to like the video to help the algorithm and subscribe to see more content like this. If you like this video, why not check out this one, where I talk about 4 scary amusement park accidents. I'll see you next time.